Hey everybody, welcome back to Kinfolk Farm. Appreciate you guys stopping by. On today's video, we're going to make a really quick video talking about the basic setup of a muscadine vineyard. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today it is super hot outside, so this is going to be a really quick video. But I had one of my subscribers text me and ask me to do a video on how to set up a muscadine vineyard. I'll run through it real quick because there's a lot that you can learn growing these muscadines, but I'll just do a basic video, and as the season progresses, I'll make sure to put out more videos of things that we do here to keep our muscadines good and healthy. But the first thing you're going to need to start you up a muscadine vineyard are some of these 8-foot posts. They're 8 foot tall. I want to say they're 5 inches around. You'll need one for each end, and this is where it gets kind of controversial. Everybody thinks because of the tension of your wire that you're going to need a brace and another post. My brother on his muscadine vineyard, he has some big steel posts that come down at a 45, and they're sunk into concrete. But everybody thinks you need all this extra bracing because over time your poles will come in. They may, but we haven't had that problem yet. And I get all my information about the muscadines from Ison's Nursery. They are huge in the muscadine growing business down here in the South. We buy everything from Ison's Nursery, not the posts and stuff, but all our plants come from Ison's Nursery. They're just huge growers, and they've been doing it for years and years. And they're the people to talk to if you need any information. They're online too. You can go check them out. They have YouTube videos, Ison's Nursery. They're on Facebook. They're just everywhere. They're super huge. But this is the way he grows his, so I stick by what he does. But 5-inch posts, 8 foot tall. We plant them in the ground 2.5 feet, and we put 80 pounds of concrete. We put them in 80 pounds of concrete, and that should hold them right where you want them. Okay, next you're going to want the wire. We buy a 9-gauge wire because it's a really super thick wire, and it'll hold up to all this weight of the vines. 9-gauge wire is about all you need, and we put them on what's called a wire vise. We take a drill and drill a hole all the way through, and we run that wire through, and when you pull that wire out, it won't go back through. It's got a locking mechanism that keeps it from going through. And we pull it way out, and what we do is we leave a lot of extra room and wrap it back around, so if anything ever happens, we have some extra slack that we can untie it, and if we need to pull it back, or just for precaution's sake, we leave a lot of extra wire spun onto the main wire. But a wire vise, 9-gauge wire. And for you guys that have seen my videos before, know I probably talk way more than what I need to, and I seem to over-explain everything. But I think that's good sometimes. Once you get your wire and your 9-gauge wire vise, wire vise, you'll want some T-posts. Now we started out with these. These are not T-posts. The day we went to buy them, they didn't have any, so we bought these instead. But these first 2 rows only have these little U-looking posts, but the rest are all 6.5 foot T-posts, and we put them in the ground about chest high because you're going to want your wire just below that. As you can see, you want your wire here for the simple fact when your berries get going, you don't want to be bending over picking up berries. You don't want to be reaching picking up berries unless you have an arbor. A lot of people put them on arbors where you can walk around and pick your berries from underneath. But a standard, just a regular muscadine vine, you want it about chest high so you can just walk through and pick your berries. Okay guys, next, once you get your top wire, you're going to want a bottom wire for your irrigation, because growing muscadines, you will definitely want irrigation because these things take tons of water. They need about 35 gallons per plant per week. So lots and lots of water. We run these things constantly. We constantly are watering our muscadines because they're putting on about 100 pounds of fruit per plant. And so they need lots and lots of water. And then after they get done producing all that fruit, they need to be able to recoup from all that hard work as well. So you're going to need lots and lots of water. The bottom wire doesn't have to be a 9-gauge wire. We actually use on the other vineyard, we use a cheap fencing wire. We've been taking down the fence and we just reclaim that fence wire and run it as a real cheap fence. Anything to hold that irrigation, because it's not heavy at all. Just any cheap wire, in my opinion, will do fine. We use, these are called your emitters, and these are 1/2 gallon per hour emitters. They make 1 gallon per hour, or I think 1/4 gallon per hour, but we use the 1/2 gallon because it's pretty easy for your math. You're figuring 1 on each end of your plant. You're getting 1 gallon an hour per plant, so you can keep up with how much water your plants are getting. So pretty simple. And as these plants get bigger, this is a 2nd-year plant here, and you can see it's already got berries all over it. This is just our 2nd year, and as they get bigger, you'll want to end up putting another emitter about here, because the roots will actually follow the plant. The roots will follow the plant, so you're going to want another emitter here, and we're sort of behind on that. But that's your irrigation, super simple. Okay guys, what you're going to need next are some plants, and I would recommend checking out Ison's Nursery. We're not paid by them or anything, but I've mentioned them all the time. I absolutely love them. They know what they're doing. They're a family-owned business right up the road from us. They've been in business for years and years and years. Their daddy started the business back years ago, and they have a ton of different varieties that you can choose from for whatever you want to do. If you want to make just wine grapes, they have particular grapes for wine. They have them for jellies. They have them for eating. They have just tons of different grapes that you can choose from. There's so much that you can learn from Ison's Nursery. Go check them out, and they will send you a catalog. You can request a catalog, and they sell just about any type of fruit you could possibly think of, and they will ship it as well. So they're just an awesome company, Ison's Nursery. They're also on YouTube, so go check them out on YouTube. Let them know Kinfolk Farmer Georgia sent you guys there. Greg Ison's an awesome guy. But what you're going to need next is your plants, and they make a ton of different varieties, like I said, but they grow super fast, and I will tell you what you need to know about these plants. Okay guys, when it comes to planting your plants, you're going to want your T-posts 10 foot apart. Say for instance, that one and this one. You're going to want them 10 foot apart. No, stop. You're going to want your T-post 20 feet apart. Correction. Back to the video. Put your plant dead center, that way they grow 10 foot each direction, because that's where you get your most productive growth and your sweetest grapes. They've done studies that says 10 foot each direction is about where you get your best fruit. So you want your best fruit on every single plant. So we plant them 20 foot apart, or in 20 foot sections. Pretty simple. That way, and what we do is when ours grow all the way to here, we just start cutting them. We go through and cut. That way you're controlling this one and you're controlling this one. So we just keep them cut to here, but then let them bush out. And you can prune underneath them. These things can take a pruning. You can prune them basically all year. These things can take a beating. When they start getting so low that they drag the ground and you can't cut the grass, we come through and do a summer pruning and sort of pick everything up and cut it. Okay, weed control. These things will definitely grow better if you can control your weeds. Now, we started out using this black fabric, but my goodness, it is super expensive, and this has been down here for about 3 years, so it's really worth the money if you can get it down. And of course, if you don't hit it with a lawnmower and all that. Ison's, they recommend spraying. Spray for your weeds, because you will get super fast growth if you can control your weeds. And we've seen the difference in using the fabric and not spraying and just letting the weeds take off. You just get a lot better growth if you can control your weeds. Okay guys, I found some shade. I'm about to burn up there. I'm sweating like crazy. Fertilizing of your plants. You're going to want a lot of fertilizer in the summertime. We fertilize about 1 foot around our plants, and we give these guys a ton of fertilizer, and it's recommended by Ison's to give them about a fistful of 10-10-10 the first 3 years now. We give them about a fistful per plant of 10-10-10 on April, May, June, July. On the first of all 4 of those months. Then on the 15th of all 4 of those months, we give them about a fistful of calcium nitrate. That's a really super high nitrogen fertilizer. It puts on the green and it puts on a lot of growth. So those are highly recommended. About your first 3 years, you can back off your 4th year and give them some at the first of growing, and then give some towards the end, because they'll need that little boost of energy after they get done putting on all your berries. But April, May, June, July, on the first of all those months, 10, 10, 10, and on the 15th of all those months, calcium nitrate. Now that's stuff you can buy at just about any feed store. If you can't find it, ask them to order it for you. We've had to do that before. But that's how you fertilize your muscadines. Okay guys, I'm headed back to the house. That's about all I can think of right now. They're super easy to grow. Muscadines, I'm obsessed with it. I love fruit. For you guys that have watched my channel know I'm a watermelon fruit. I just love fruit. I'm getting old. I guess that's getting that sweet tooth like a kid, but I absolutely love muscadines. They're the best grape ever. They really grow strong down here in the South. All your Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, all the way down into Texas. You can get some to grow right up into Oklahoma. If it gets down to around 0 degrees in the winter, it's really tough to grow muscadines. They can't take that cold weather. But out here in Georgia, they just grow like crazy. And they grow really fast. You cannot hardly cut them. You could come down here with a machete and take that big limb right there. If you don't like the way this plant's growing, you can take and cut that thing right there and start all over. That thing will just grow right back up, and you can retrain it to grow whichever way you want. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I try to give as much information as I can, and I'll try to make sure to put out more muscadine videos. I just don't put out enough muscadine videos until they start getting ready to eat. Then we'll put out some muscadine videos, and for us it's around mid-September when they come on for us to start eating. But I want to show you guys how our muscadines are doing. These 2 rows right here are the first rows we put in when we moved here. I was just going to put these 2, and I was like, that's fun, you know, we got some muscadines now that we can eat. But then we added these 4 rows. Let's see if you can see how we added those 4 rows. And then we started to turn that pasture. Y'all have seen it in my videos for you guys that have subscribed. Up there, we're putting in about a 250 plant vineyard, so eventually we can start having people come out, and it's called a U-pick. You can come out, y'all go pick, pay me by the pound. That's sort of my goal. It's a slow process, but it's coming along. But I want to show you guys real quick how our berries are coming so far. As you can see, they're really doing good. And these are my wife's favorite. These are the Scumpernongs, the green grapes. And they're coming along really, really well. Just doing great. Let's see, this whole row is all the green Scumpernongs. This whole row are the muscadines. And they're coming along pretty good too. All your grapes usually grow from underneath. I don't know how well y'all can see that. I got the glare of the sun, but they're doing pretty good. And then of course the leaves are all in the way. But they're coming along pretty good. They're right on schedule. We water these jokers all the time, fertilize them all the time. We keep them pruned. We do a fall or a winter pruning. We prune them in February to get brand new plants going. It's just a lot of information. It's super hot, and I could be out here talking about these things forever because there's tons of information that you can give to growing muscadines. But that's the basic, guys. You'll need your pole, your wire, your irrigation, your plants, your T-post. Super simple. And the plants cost us about $10 each. Hyson sells them for about $10 each. Super cheap. Guys, love y'all to death. I'm burning up. I would talk about pest control. As you can see, these little jokers right here. And Japanese beetles. That's probably your biggest pest, are the Japanese beetles. And we do spray for them. I have beetle traps up because these beetles, we might use that for another video when I start planting some here pretty soon. These Japanese beetles will wipe out your plants, and all that money, time, and growth and energy you put into growing these things, Japanese beetles will wipe them out. They're like, I call them the little small locusts. But other than that, that's it, guys. Let me get in this shape. For you guys that haven't subscribed to my channel, do me a favor, subscribe, like, share. If you have any questions again about muscadines, leave them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. Most of the things I learned Ison's Nursery. Go check them out online. Check them out on Facebook. Love you guys to death. See you on the next video.